Welcome to the Tantric Life Academy. Embodiment practice is a foundational component to a tantric yogic practice from my perspective. And this is because the tantric philosophy sees everything as connected, everything is potentially being sacred, and that the body as a sacred vehicle through which we have this lived human experience. Now, in our current culture, it's not uncommon for people to separate the mind and the body, and also sometimes with certain religious perspectives, think of the body or anything that is connected to the earth or earthbound as sort of dark or dirty or bad and should be ignored. But the Tantrikas felt very differently about that, and they believed that the body could be a sacred vehicle for practice and transcendence and realization of the truth of oneness and this deeply interconnected nature of our lives and our world. So today we find a lot of people who are really, really disconnected from their bodies. They don't entirely know what they feel, and therefore they are overwhelmed when they do have a feeling. So think about times when you have gotten really upset or frustrated and you have this sort of bubbling sensation in your physical body, a sensation that is so big that you can't ignore it. Oftentimes, we only notice it when they're this big, and because we've had no practice with understanding, feeling, and wielding this energy, we often become a reaction to it and therefore start to behave unskillfully. So I start to say or do things that I didn't really want to do, but I was so overwhelmed by this feeling. Well, the practice of embodiment is the practice of understanding what the feelings are when they are in our body and starting to practice understanding our limits, our boundaries, our edges, and how to start to work with this energy. It can be as simple initially as noticing a rising heat or tension when you feel mildly frustrated and seeing if you can feel that and direct that energy before it bubbles up. So the practice of Tantra, whether we're using movement or breath, sound, visualization, attention, or touch, are designed to help us understand what we're feeling, our felt sense and our internal experience, so that we can then work with it mindfully so that we are always in the driver's seat. So embodiment practice is important for this reason, because when we want to direct our energy consciously, we have to first know what it feels like, how big it is, and what our tools are for directing it. This is why embodiment practice is such a big part of the tantric yogic practice as I understand it, and why we spend so much time with movement and breath and body practices so that we can feel what's in us. Because the truth is, as we move through this human experience, we are moving through it with our body. We're moving through it with our body the whole time. And just like we had to learn how to drive a car, or pilots have to learn how to drive particular aircraft, we should in the same way learn how to utilize this vehicle through which we are going to have the entirety of this human experience. This is what we strive to do here at the Tantric Life Academy, understanding from the inside out so that we can step into the most authentic power in a mutually beneficial way. So, thank you for joining me here.